Hello, I'm Meredith Blackwell, and I'm here at the IMC 12 in Maastricht, Netherlands. And we're doing an oral history project for Mycology. And it's the 14th of August, 2024. And we're going to have an interview now. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Dr. Marcela Ca. I am a full professor at the Federal University of Sergipe in Brazil, northeastern of Brazil, since about 15 years. And well, I work with lichens, lichenized fungi, since I was undergrad student.
Okay. And so had you seen lichens as a child and wondered about them?
No. Actually, when I was at the university studying biology, I had a professor who worked with lichens, but lichens and air pollution or chemistry of lichens were both topics. And I got really interested. Mm-hmm. So my whole time after that, I dedicated to lichens and studied the air pollution on the city I was living in at that moment. And only after that, I really wanted to do the taxonomy of lichens because there was no lichenologist at where I live.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So where were you born in Brazil?
Well, I was born in Chile.
Oh,
in Santiago.
Okay, never mind.
No problem. But because my father is from Brazil, mm-hmm. and only my mother's family is from Chile, and but I've been living in Brazil since I was a small child.
So were you bilingual?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I have a double nationality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So where did you go to school? You mentioned it, or did you? You
yes,
mentioned going to school.
Yeah, it is a different place from where I live now. Okay. It's in Recife, Pernambuco.
Okay.
It's a very famous state because of Augusto Chaves Batista, a famous mycologist.
Yes.
In the 50s, 60s, he was very active. And he himself also studied some lichens because of the pathogenic fungi that he found. That was his main interest.
He's well known.
Yeah, but he found also lichens living on the leaves that he gathered and collected, and so he tried also to. He has many species. Tried to study them. He had many species described at that time as well.
And so you find all the lichens he studied. You see them all the time, or?
Well, they are folliculous lichens. Mm-hmm. So they are very, very small.
Yeah.
But then, my first interest was those lichens. So I wanted to study the folliculous lichens first, and because they are a smaller group, not so difficult to identify or and then after my PhD, or during my PhD, I decided to change from folliculous lichens to crostose lichens, corticulous lichens, so the bigger lichens. And since then, I've been sampling lichens and having my students also PhD students, master students, and in 2012 I created an herbarium, and it has now over 50,000 samples deposited.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
only with lichens. Yeah, no other fungi.
Yeah, that's nice. So do you teach a lot, or?
Yes, I teach. Yes, I have. Currently, I have 2 courses that I have to teach. Cryptogams, like algae, mosses, and ferns, and then also a course on mycology.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how long do the courses last? Do they last a long term, or?
Yes, like a whole semester.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you have semesters.
Yeah.
I taught at Louisiana State University, and oddly enough, well, there are a number of Brazilian students who have come there, but they're in music, and I don't know why, but I got on the list of PhD committees, we have to have an outside member. And so I've been on several, including one man from Brazil.
Oh,
So it was really interesting. And
Nice.
he's gone back to Brazil and started a music group there, classical music. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So did you ever run into Jose Bezerra?
Yes.
Yeah. I knew him at the University of Florida. I was a postdoc there with Jim Kimbrough.
Oh.
And that was his advisor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very nice. He's very active still.
That's what I
He
hear.
was actually part of the committee when I presented my master's dissertation, because I thought, well, we have to invite him. He was also an expert on folliculus lichen at that time when he was Batista's student.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, it was always an honor to be in touch with him, to have him. Also, sometimes I invited him to be part of committee of my students for a PhD or masters. Yeah,
Well, he's a very nice person.
Yes.
If you run into him, tell him hello for me.
Okay, I will.
Yeah,
I'll send him a message.
So do we have anything else that you want to say about your job or your research? Or
Yes, because in this conference right now and nowadays in general, we always see that, for instance, I was in one symposium, in other symposia, and the word of the moment is the phylogenomics, and the whole genome to be sequenced. But I am still a few steps behind, because for me, since the beginning, when I wanted to start the folliculus lichens and then the corticulus lichens, it was more important to have the knowledge about the diversity, because there was nobody to do that in Brazil at that moment, like year 2000, for instance. And right now, with all my students and also with other groups that were also being formed, we have reached almost 5,000 species.
wow.
And then because now we have the knowledge to identify them, we have had the help of specialists to work with some difficult groups, and we found many new species, and then we could also report the species that were there, even if they were common but they were not registered. So we are planning to publish soon a checklist of the Brazilian lichens, and hopefully in some time one book about the lichens.
Yeah, and so your photograph, they're very photogenic, so I'm sure getting lots of nice photographs for a book.
Yes.
That should be very nice.
Yeah, my students now, they are working on phylogenies so of course I work with them of different groups in the lichenized fungi world, but I also emphasize the importance of knowing the species that we eat, the taxonomy, the morphology of the species.
Yeah, not just sequences.
Not just sequencing. Yeah.
Well, that's nice to hear. Yeah, so you're in a great part of the world for biodiversity.
Yes, yeah. I'm very proud of where I am now and of my country, and then knowing this diversity, at least the lichen diverse and the fungal diverse, we can help also to conserve and preserve such threatened environments.
Well, thanks for talking to us. I've
Thank you
enjoyed it,
as well.
and it's been a great meeting for me. And
Yes.
I should confess, I cannot identify lichens. I don't know the terms. It's very difficult. So I envy you being able to know all these lichens.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you as well.